Call the meeting to order, 5 o'clock. First thing on the agenda is review the minutes of November 19th, 2018.
Make a motion to accept the minutes as.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Sign the warrants. What's this for a check? So,
Refund, one was a refund, you have to sign 2 pages. For that one and the one underneath.
okay.
The house was sold and I paid the water bills twice.
So what do we sign here? Just anyway here?
Down the bottom.
Yeah.
Wayne, did we dig something up on that?
Yeah, we got the same one
Police
here.
station.
Wonder why
Is that our road plate now?
No, the highway is out doing storm drains.
What's that?
Well, they're done mowing lawns and I think they're done raking leaves that are minimized so they can actually free up.
$50, man.
Refund.
Oh, that's
Road
what
opening
it's
permits.
$50. That adds up to
Oh,
the man charge.
yeah.
Okay.
Except for emergencies.
One's in a big.
Yeah,
one's in a big.
Yep.
What's this, Wayne, 4490,
That's
4,000?
the total of the highway, and that's what we get from,
Oh, that's all, that's all, I see it in line with 155 West Center Street, I couldn't figure that out.
I just highlight so you can see what we're getting.
Yeah. But it was in, I just thought it was in line, I thought it was in line with a different address than what, anything we own. So where are we at on our electricity, Wayne?
oh, I don't know.
The
What
account-
we paid so far?
Yeah, the accountant sent us one of those reviews yet.
No, not yet.
Should be getting one of those very soon.
Use the PRVs go down, or is that just so we have the kids on?
No, we have one that we discovered was leaking. So I bought, if one's leaking, their outlet valve or inlet valves, their main valve's the thing. So
Yeah.
as long as they're gonna take the plant down, I'm gonna do all 3.
Okay.
You also see, at some point, you'll see the cost of a gallon of paint to coat those valves back out again.
For what?
A gallon.
I had to buy some of that Kinemax paint.
Yep.
It's $300 for a gallon.
Yeah.
What do you use that on, Wayne?
That's on most of our process piping inside the plant and almost anywhere where we paint anything.
But it doesn't come off very easy.
No.
It's good to pay.
Yeah, the plant's been in operation 14 years now, and it's still, I mean, it needs some touching up now, so.
Yeah. And that thing sweats all the time.
Oh, yeah.
How often does the accountant send through those, budget stuff, so we know where we're at?
End of the month, I'm waiting for last month's to come in so I can update and see where I'm at. Because we're over on a few lines to stay running this summer.
Right. That's what I wanna look at, see where we're at.
Yeah, and I'm waiting for it.
We don't have, yeah.
The holidays probably slowed it down.
Yeah, 'cause that's
Because she does it right at the end of the month, so and that's where Thanksgiving fell out.
Right. Good. You all set? Alright, so the next thing we got is Station 2 flow rate discussion.
All right, so you asked me to ask Peter why our flow rates weren't any good, and coming out of Station 2,
Yep.
why we're not getting 500. So he
Yep.
said that the flow test aligned with the factory curves, it aligned with the 2016 curves. What he said was you may have plugging going on in that pipe because there's a lot of iron in there. There's also a Parco valve, so there's other things along the way too that could gather up iron. He said the only way you're gonna know is to break the pipe open. He said East Bridgewater had the same issues, their curves didn't meet, and when they opened up their pipes, they were all plugged up.
So, do you have a place that you can open it up, take a look?
There is no place that's not flanged pipes, that's all, we'd have to cut it out a chunk and,
Are you talking about
the
the
fitting bound the whole way out of there?
yeah, basically you build from the well out, so without knowing, I can't see what happens 5 feet in the ground, but I know looking in the vaults, there's nothing there for me to take apart.
That's all flange pipe inside there.
I'll look in, but I think the only thing that's a moving part is the Parco valve, and I don't wanna mess with that.
Where's the meter in that? The meter's down in the other pit.
It's in one of the first pits.
Yeah.
There's 4
You
pits
should have
up
a
there.
place there, you could take that apart, those meters would drop right out.
I'll look and see, I haven't had time, I'm still trying to keep us running, because we're using 3 stations to stay running, that's everything we have. If I lose one of them, the minute one drops out, and we've been.
So you're telling me that the factory curve should have been 500, but you're only getting 460?
Yep,
And he's saying it's because there's too much back pressure because there's a crack in the pipe.
right, he says that when he did his tests, his curves came out fine, we met the factory curves. And we met the 2016 curves too, when they redid it back in 2016.
You have something close by, is there a hydrant you could open up and blast it out, see if you can get some?
There are hydrants there, but nothing, I mean,
Just thinking if there's if you don't want to break stuff apart.
yeah.
Any chances a valve not open all the way somewhere right
Well,
there?
the park one might not open all the way.
Right.
Those things will have issues sometimes, especially if you got clogging in the pilots.
So the picture that's gonna come up on the screen, this is a pump. The water flows right past this all the time. Yet it was plugged. You got a 1/4 inch going right around that, if not a 1/2 inch at some points. That's the pump coming up, that's firing up at
Right.
200 or 300 gallons a minute. So opening up a hydrant, it's not gonna take it off. It won't slough it off. And if we're having this problem with Station 2, well, you've got, what, a 1/4 mile of pipe between Manley Street wells and the plant itself. You can see this right here.
This is Station 2 though, right?
No, this is Manley Street.
This is
That's
Manley
Manley
Street.
Yeah, so that's Manley Street. So if it's right here in the well, then you know the pipes going up to the plant are all the same. And he said that when they did this, he saw significant, he wanted to redevelop the well, but I don't have the money to do it, and I told him I'd push that off till next year.
How about pigging that?
You could pig it, yeah.
Why don't we, get a price from somebody to come in there and pig that, clean it?
So he said some people have done rod jetting, or jetting to clean out the pipes too. But in each instance, you've got to have an open end, and in some cases.
Yeah, well, you dig a hole and you cut the section of pipe on it either end,
Yep,
and then they'll put a truck on it, they'll put a smaller pig in there, they'll have razor blades on it,
yep,
and they'll blow it through to the other hole, and you pump everything out that comes out, all the junk, then you put a bigger pig in with razor blades on it, and they just keep blowing them through till they get the thing right down perfectly clean. Maybe if we get a price to do that, if we're losing, what, 60 gallons a minute, just
Yeah.
because of that, it might be worth it.
I mean, I haven't seen any problems at Manley Street, but then we're not running full bore there anyways. Most of our pumps are turned down to 90% or 80%. One is 90 and one is 80.
Okay,
So
but
it's
that,
Norman Ave we're having trouble with, right?
Yeah, Norman Ave, we're missing, so we're getting 460 instead of 500. So we're off by 40 gallons a
so
minute.
what do you relate that one to?
Well, that's the one he's saying, you could have that same problem right there.
Well, that would be an easy one, because you could just open up the pit and blow something through from the well. Open it up right there at the well and blow it through to the pit.
What about trying flushing it, see if it gets some dirty water out, see if it,
I mean, we do when they do the test, we do run
Well,
it
you
there.
can't-
It's just there's too much there to get out.
Well, we run out of the hydrant up above. There is a hydrant further up when we're testing, because you
Up
can't,
on
once
Norman
anything's done, we have to flush the waste until we get
But
good bacteria.
That well's been pumping like that since 1948. And, all of a sudden, we can't get 500 gallons a minute. We always get 500 gallons a minute. It's been working since 1948. Something doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I can't tell. All I know is before they rehabbed it, it was down to 260.
Yeah, and that would be because the well got plugged up.
Right.
But they should have been able, if they had it back to 500 gallons a minute, then the pump should be pumping 500 gallons a minute. If we got a problem with the pipe being plugged up, we're losing 60 gallons a minute, let's get it back, let's figure out what it is. 60 gallons a minute, 24 hours a day is a lot of water.
Yeah,
is this picture from when they changed the pump, Wayne?
yeah, that's when the pump burnt out.
And they put that pitless back in?
Well, no, they took that all out and cleaned that part out.
Okay.
It's
Just had to
Did
go.
they use that pitless over?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, they clean them up, when they get done with them, they look like they're brand new.
Yeah.
But what he's saying is that the pipe that continues on from there,
Right,
To
horizontal.
Yeah,
the
that
pit.
face met something and,
So the horizontal pipes.
but
right.
but if you add up the pipe from that point to where the pit is, it's only about 100 feet.
What diameter is that? Is that 6 inch right there, Wayne? What's that pitless?
That's 6. That
That's
6
six.
goes up
Is
to
that
8.
six?
Yeah, it goes to what, 8, yeah.
8. then
So
up
how
to-
far is the 6 before it goes to 8?
No, yeah, I think it's right there.
Oh, they're gonna increase it, right?
Yeah.
That park will have an external
This
indicator.
one, so this one is Manley Street, it doesn't have a park out. It's variable frequency drives.
No, but the other one.
The other one does have a park.
So Norman Ave, what is probably the 6 inch that's the problem, you think? Just the 6 inch, or you think the 8 inch too?
Well, it's probably the whole pipe coming up, because you're coming up out of the hole there, it's
Oh, you
down.
mean the riser pipe?
No, the pipe's in the ground, our distribution system.
Even the 8 inch though, you're saying?
Yeah, that's where you're looking, you're not looking in the well pipe, you're looking in the distribution pipes.
But you've got a short run of 6 inch, which could really be a problem.
Yeah, once you start that buildup, it's not, it just keeps getting better, because it's like clay, it can stick to each other.
But that hole's still pretty big. You should be able to pump 300, 500 gallons a minute through there. 500 gallons a minute isn't very much. You can pump 500 gallons a minute through a 4-inch pipe.
Yeah, right.
So,
Well, if you got
It
the
would
right,
have to be
if you
really
got the
close.
right motor, if that 500 gallon a minute's assuming it's got a full clean 6 inch or 8 inch
Yeah, that's
pipe,
a 50
and you
horse
lose
motor
a
now.
bunch of it, you're
It's
gonna
a 50 horse,
still
Yeah.
not push it.
so that should do the volume.
Oh, yeah.
should have made compensation for that,
Well,
put
if
a
we told
bigger
them,
pump in.
if we told them to, but a lot of them just haven't rehab it.
Wayne says it's a 50 horse motor now.
Maybe,
Yeah, but again, depends on what the curves are on those bowls,
right,
how much power, you start tightening that up, you're gonna push it back on the curve. And it's a little over 10%, you're off, it's not like it's a
Right, it's not a huge
giant cut,
discrepancy,
so
but it's the
something like
beginning of a loss.
that to do it.
Right,
Only other thing before that, if the Parco has an external indicator, shows how far it's open,
yeah.
just make sure it's open and all the way,
Yeah,
just in case, because we used to have them plug once in a while,
right,
and the pilot would plug and the thing would open and let water through, but it wouldn't open all the way.
yeah.
Pacos also build up faster because the velocity through the Paco is faster, and they'll build up with rust quicker in that Paco. That's what I always found.
We'll see, but anything I take down, I have to have back up that day. I can't lose any water now.
Well, that's what I was asking about an external, at least, you know, that you can see the
Right.
Parco is for how it's functioning without actually taking it offline. The rest of it,
Well,
yeah.
you better get another well built pretty quick then. If you can't afford, if you lose that, if you lose a well, what are we gonna do? If you can't even take it down more than a day, we're in serious trouble. Revenue discussion, possible vote?
Well, I don't think we'd be voting, but,
I hope we get more revenue.
yeah, well, that's our other issue. I'm telling you again, it's the second time you're not gonna hear from me again, but I'm forecasting a shortfall.
Okay.
And so, another thing you can look at, I think I put, so this is what we committed to take in revenue. That doesn't mean we're gonna do that, because people let it go to lean for some reason. That's our production.
That's what we build, you mean?
Yep, this is what we're billing, this is what we're producing. Notice these numbers.
Oh, we have these.
These numbers are not changing too much. Notice these numbers down here did change drastically.
Wow. Right in August.
Well, it started back before that, because you gotta remember, it's the 3 months prior to, so you're looking at a May commitment, but it's not, it's the 3 months in front of that
Yeah, it's
that are actually contribute to that.
March, April, May, or February, March, April?
So February, March,
February, March,
April,
April is
because
the
February
May
is the
commitment.
last, so you would start in the middle of February, it's like the 15th, and then you go until the 15th of the next commitment.
I'm not following what that, what's that water production thing there, what's?
So that's how much water we produced for each of those commitments. So in this one, we produced 68 million roughly, and we took in 598. And this one, we produced 775 million gallons, we took in 645. 422 million, we produced 56 million gallons. Now that's $405 million, no, that's $405,000. That's 71 million gallons of water.
Not going
The
right
same,
away.
for less
So,
money.
Right.
So we're doing
more-
71 million gallons of
Gallons of
water
water.
for the same price we were producing 56 million.
Yes, we're producing water and not getting revenue.
So we either got a problem, we're either losing it, and if we had this much rain and the grounds are saturated as much as it is, you'd see the water coming out of the ground somewhere.
Well, August, we're really having a
And you already checked all the rivers, so we know it's not a river.
The only one I haven't done is the market basket one, and I'm getting there this week, regardless.
So once you get done with that, we'll know it's not a river, and we don't have any leaks because it would be lifting a street or something. It would be showing up. The ground's saturated, it's gonna come up out of the ground.
The times correlate too, so it's not our water meters are calibrated each year, it's not a water meter went out of calibration.
No, I'm not saying that the master meter's off, I'm saying that the house meters are off. Something's wrong.
And
What
so,
are-
when you see this uptick, no meters have been installed for an entire year prior.
No meters have been installed.
For an entire year prior.
So it's
Right?
all the same meters, it's not
Yes,
like there's.
all
Meters
the
never
same
change.
meters.
Nothing changes
Meters-
meters.
Nothing's changed for an entire year.
prior or after.
That's correct.
And when are you gonna do, when did you do your master meter?
He hasn't come this year yet, I'm gonna call him and remind him he's gotta come, but he usually does it this time of year.
Yeah, usually in November, I thought.
Right. I have to tell you, he's like semi-retired now.
So the water production number is coming from all our wells, the meters.
That's correct.
That's where that's coming from.
Yep.
But he's gotta get them calibrated, or he's gotta get them, tested to see if they're accurate this year.
But now, we don't have any way to compare all our metering, we just have a dollar value.
Right.
We can't tell
I
how many
can't,
gallons we build, just,
there is a way, and I had it, and I can't find what I did with that spreadsheet, but I did, it's not exact. There's a discrepancy between them, but it usually ran right around 20% until we get to that end one, and then it jumps up 50% or greater.
so you can pull a number out that shows
Yes,
how
but
many
it's not
gallons we
gonna,
built.
yeah, it doesn't correlate, it's not a one-to-one thing. Because there are losses, we lose backwash water.
yeah. But you can pull that number out of the billing
Yes,
system.
and I did have, but I can't figure out where I put that spreadsheet. That's the problem with going between two computers. I'm trying to get better at that.
Well, what do you think of those numbers? We definitely got something going on.
Yep.
What do you think, Al?
I think we need to find it, because unless one of those meters is real bad, but if it was just the meter being bad, you wouldn't see us having to
Right.
chase it.
It would count less water.
Right, but if you calculate out the runtime and the amount of water produced, that calculates out correctly.
It makes sense?
Yes.
Yeah, because
It's not
if
the
the meter
runtime.
was under register and was telling you weren't producing the water, or the other, you can tell because of what the system does. It's all charted for what you have,
Right.
how long, the pumps wouldn't be running if you were really using that. So,
Well, I think we ought to do the first part of January. If you want to, we'll post a meeting. We'll all sit down. Kerry can get out, say, the records of print them out. Wayne can get the production records out, and all of us can sit down, and we don't have to have a public meeting with any other discussion. We can all sit down and try to figure out what's going on. We all can do it together, we
that's
can.
something.
But we have to post a meeting if the three of us are
Yeah,
gonna.
oh yeah, you can't not,
Yeah, we can't sit down and work on it
yeah, no, I know.
without making it a public meeting, but not to have a meeting for anything else, it just be a working meeting so we can try to figure out what the numbers are, what's going on. If you wanna do that,
Wayne was gonna, we were talking about measuring our loss.
Well, I wanted to come down, I just haven't had a chance since the last meeting.
Is that something Wayne can do?
Well, I just pulled from whatever it was last night, whatever I was looking at. Way out of the pocket, but I didn't calculate, then as Rick walked in, it was time to start the meeting, so.
I mean, we should start.
We'll
by doing that.
take a look, we did it before, there was a lot of water going out of those tanks at night.
After
makes
like
it-
2 AM?
Yeah, which makes it sound like a leak.
Like late, so you did check it once before, but that's what we
Yeah,
had.
we had done that before, but it's at that's when you were looking and weren't able to find anything.
Right.
So it
Well,
might be the
that's-
point, we could take one more look through the quarters, but realistically, we're gonna have to have somebody come through and look for leaks out in that system. They're not-
DEP's gonna make us, but.
Yeah, so we might as well, unless something jumps out, like we found something massive at one of the wells, like it's not registering backflow.
Well, you need to get
And
the,
we're losing water, but we're losing it back inside.
Like
That'd
a
be the
check
only,
valve?
yeah, that'd be the only way it'd be that we wouldn't be losing it outside somewhere, because we'd be counting it going in.
right,
And then it's
We
running.
wouldn't be billing it, and it'd be
we
going
had that
back.
before, we had that here on well number 4. The check valve went, the water was going backwards, we were losing 50,000 gallons a day back down the well. We'd pump it out, we'd pump out 400,000 and 50,000, we'd go back down the well.
But the meter's supposed to register it both
Yeah, but it
directions.
won't count, you won't see it show up on the skater, it's not set up to, only Manley Street set up to reduce.
So all you gotta do is physically watch the meter, right? Can you watch, they got
You can
analog,
watch the meter, yes.
so have we checked that yet? Let's do that first, on all the
Well, we
wells.
can start writing them down, but you have to catch.
No, I'm just
shut
saying,
down
let it
point.
pump, have the pump come on,
Yeah,
see the pump shut off and see if the meter's going backwards.
I have looked at them, nothing's,
I mean, specifically go just for that reason, at every well,
yeah,
run the pump, let the pump shut off, and see if the meter's going backwards.
yeah.
Eliminate that, that's our biggest Yeah, possibility
That's
right
a
there.
big, that's a big possibility.
And if it happened to be something like that, you don't want the guys that you pay to do a leak detection survey to find
Right,
out.
no, we have been in and done that, like, we had problems with Station 2 during the summer, so we had to manually run it, so we were writing down the numbers. And at night, they were the same each time somebody
You don't
came
even have to
back.
write the numbers down, I don't think, right? Just make
Yeah,
sure.
no,
the
You just
pump
have
goes
to
on.
see it when it goes off, and then before it comes on again, see it again. But if it was leaking, it would be an instantaneous thing, you'd see the thing start
Yeah.
registering backwards.
As soon as the pump shuts off, it should start registering backwards.
Right,
Probably a check valve.
It's gotta be something. It's gotta be something that, and we can't say, we already checked that, or we already checked that. We gotta look at every little thing that it could be and go systematically through it, you know, once and for all, and just check them all off until we figure it out.
I can tell you in the summertime, we were running flat out pretty much, almost 20 plus hours a day. It still didn't equal up to the loss, because we weren't down enough for that to happen.
And then when we're pumping a lot, if you're seeing less loss, that's because the pumps are running so steady, it's not running back. The more we pump, the more we're registering and not losing.
But if
It almost seems to be that way.
But if all the pumps are running, you can't be losing anything backwards.
Right, we're not, there's
It's all
not a
pushing
station
out,
sitting
it's
idle
still
anymore.
pushing a ton of water out.
But our numbers aren't as far off at the peak of summer, right?
No, it started in that February uptick.
But I'm just saying, if it was a check valve, in the summer, when we're peaked out, we're pumping a lot of water.
Right.
You're not gonna show such a leak situation because it's pumping and getting used. Where now, we're not drawing a lot, the pump
You're not having
shuts
much
off.
downtime.
The pump stays, you don't have the downtime for it to
Right.
run back.
Right.
You have the downtime now, the pump shuts off and for a while now,
Yeah, we're
right?
getting 2 downtimes a day now.
Yeah, so that makes sense that you would be losing more because it's more downtime and you're
More
running
down,
backwards.
right, so when you're pumping a lot, you don't have the downtime for it to run back.
Right, it could be. So let's start doing those things and we'll sit down, we'll look at the numbers and we'll see if we can figure this thing out because we should be able to figure it out.
Before we spend 30 grand on a leak
Right.
protection company, you know?
Right. So if you want, we can schedule a meeting after the first of the new year. We can all sit down and we can, I don't know what you guys' availability is, if you wanna do it at night and we can pay Kerry and, you know, cover her for overtime or whatever to try to figure this out, but if we have to do it at night, if you wanna do it
Night's a lot easier for me. 'Cause
Night.
Yeah.
okay, probably Tom too. All right, so we can schedule it like, you know, right after work some night.
In the meantime, can we have, when you check all the pumps, what do you think?
By tomorrow, I'll know.
Check all the meters,
Yeah, but we've already done that, but I'll just do it again and document it so you can
Yep.
see it in writing.
but see them come on.
And that
see
way
them-
too, when DEP comes down and say, look, we're doing all this, we're not.
Yeah,
just-
document, anything we do, document it.
Yep. You know, as soon as it shuts down and you're looking at it, make sure that meter does register backwards.
Yeah.
That it's not gonna
Yep.
just only register in one direction, make sure it does register in both directions.
Do they typically register backwards?
They have the ability.
Some do and some
Some
don't.
don't, right?
Yeah.
Now, a house meter, will that register backwards?
No, it won't go backwards.
It won't.
No, they used
These
to.
big meters will.
Right, the big meters, because they're electronic, are different.
Right.
But do they electronically count it, or do they just physically see it? Yeah, I think you just physically see it, don't you? Does it record it
It
that
won't
way?
record it on the.
I know the
standards.
iron removal plant will.
So they
The iron
have,
removal plant's
there's
built
like
that way.
5 different fields within them. Like the high school, I could see that fluctuating backwards because it was a meter, but the part you read is only the forward part. You don't read the backward part when it just fluctuates. Because if nobody's using water, you might get a pulse and then you'll see a negative. Because the electronic meters are more sensitive.
All right, well, we gotta start somewhere, so, whenever you guys wanna do it after the first of the year, we can set a date. We'll do it after January 1st, so. I gotta get a calendar. You got a calendar?
First is a Tuesday.
First is a Tuesday.
We have a meeting on the 7th anyway, which would be the first Monday.
Do you wanna do it then?
We could do it after the regular,
Why don't we do that?
just add it to the end of the regular meeting. So we'll just hold that as a, we still have a lot of people show up at the meetings anyway.
Right, okay.
So just put it, yeah, why don't, if we have to,
Yeah,
because we do,
no,
the three of us can't sit down and do anything without
Right,
having a meeting, so why don't we just put it on the agenda for the 7th?
okay.
Yeah.
And if anybody wants to come in and see us, why don't you just tell them the next meeting?
Even if they come in, it won't be, it's not like it's gonna bother it, we just put it at the end of the agenda, if somebody comes in, we take care of them first.
Okay.
And technically, if somebody wanted to come in and see what we were doing, they'd be able to anyway.
Oh, yeah, well, they can sit, I just don't
Yeah.
wanna take up time going over plans or something like that when I'm supposed to be looking at numbers, you know?
You want?
Yeah.
I won't put anyone on with that.
Okay. Wait, what do you got there on water gem, water CAD?
All right, so that was the one with the article looking to lease and whether we could switch to the CAD. So the article specifically mentions water gem. You're stuck with the water gem. You can lease, that's not an issue. The problem is that in talking with Patrick, they use water gem and they use one other program. So I think he said the water gem won't do a flushing program. There's a reason that they use two different programs. Basically, we're just looking to house the program so that if we ever hire another engineering firm, so the water gem will probably suit our needs.
When you're looking at mostly using it just for things like a development coming online, and see what it does to the system, not doing,
Right,
you're not gonna do a revised flushing program
right.
with it, because you already have the flushing program.
Right, and even if they add in a subdivision somewhere, it should be small money to have them add that into the circuit somewhere anyways. It shouldn't be, because the program's developed.
Right. So,
So, yeah, we can lease it. He wanted us to go up there and just talk with them guys and see what they do before we did lease it. So I just have to arrange with Patrick for him to arrange for me to go up there to the Marlboro office.
Do you know where he's at with our overall system analysis?
I think he's almost done with that. I know I have the flushing program, and I think I have the hydraulic program. Yeah, I have the hydraulic model verification report. It's free for you guys if you want to read it at any point in time. I haven't had time, I'm busy trying to. Hey, this is free. Oh. How suspicious do you want that?
Yeah.
I'll work that out.
Demand and production analysis.
I think he said he's almost there on that. I also warned him that if he sends us another bill, more than likely, we're not gonna pay it unless he comes in and talks to you. I did warn him about that, because they're almost all up there in percentage.
So did he ever figure out the problem at the lower end of the town?
He didn't say anything to me.
Well, it's a verification report, so they should like give us actually something that shows what they verified and they didn't.
Hey, what do we have for connection up on Turnpike Street?
Oh, wait a minute, did they?
Do we have a cross connection up there?
We do not have any water up there. We basically,
There
we
is no-
buy Easton's water and then we
Okay,
pay
so
them
there is no
back.
cross connection.
No.
Let's see October test results.
North Main Street's only got a 4-inch main.
Which one?
North Main right here. From
No. It might, yeah.
Boy, I would, huh?
Yeah, I think so. That's really old. What does that show? 4 right there?
Shows a 4 right there too.
That's a 12. That's a
Yeah,
12 on the
yeah, 'cause that goes up to the tower.
Goes up, yeah, to the woods.
Right here, right?
Yep, it comes down through here, it's up here, and then goes up through there.
That's a 12, you said?
Yeah, that's a 12.
Doesn't even show a 12.
But I know that there may be 2 mains there, but that's a 12, that's
It
not
shows an 8-inch on Pinecrest.
an 8?
Yeah, that's blue dot, that teal dotted is 8
That's
inch.
wrong. That's supposed to,
That's 8-inch.
that's 12, that's got a 2-inch on one
And then
side.
this going up through the cemetery, they show 6-inch, and it's 12-inch.
Yeah, it's at least 8 going through the cemetery.
Going up to the water tank?
Yeah, going up to Mailers.
Yeah, I thought it was 12, no?
I think it's 8. No, it's 8.
Yeah, it's about 8.
This shows 6
But
inch.
it's 12 right to there.
Yeah.
12 right to
Just
that
the in
point.
between.
We should make some notes and have them correct this, huh?
Yeah, that might make a difference in the flows right there.
Because it sure as heck not.
Did you ever sit down and go over this map with them at all? Mount Reference?
He's wrong, leaving all the way back to Norman Ave well.
Well, he's got Goldie, Hartron, Brewster. He's got those are those dotted or are those?
Those are
Oh,
so, 4-inch, yeah, those are 4-inch.
they're 8. Those are all 8. AC pipe,
Yeah, it is AC pipe on that.
but it's all 8, I know it is.
He doesn't indicate what the mains are made of.
But we should, he's got some of this stuff wrong.
I think there's a lot more.
Which one of the ones you
Why
got?
does, he doesn't even have a notch on it, he doesn't even have the water main going,
He has it going all the way down, he does it as a 6-inch at the
he's got a
end.
6-inch, that's not like that.
No, it's all 8 inch in
It's
there.
all 8-inch, the whole thing's 8-inch. Even going through the connections there, they're
He's
8-inch.
showing it 4-inch.
That's not like that.
How about United Drive, all those loops in there, those aren't 4-inch.
No.
Where did you get all this information?
He pulled off of the GIS computer. He actually took our files.
Wayne, everything up on United Drive's wrong.
Yeah,
Shows a 6-inch coming in from Manley Street. Going to an
It's all
8-inch.
12-inch wrapped all the way around that.
How much time did we put into this thing?
Billable hours, I can't tell you the amount of time. Well, actually, I can, I think I can.
United Drive is all 12, all the way through.
It
Yeah,
doesn't show any 12.
The whole thing's 12.
Doesn't
Manley
show-
Street's
Oh,
all
it shows a
12.
little bit of 12.
Manley Street Extension's all 12.
no, it's all 12. Everything around the entire thing is
He
12.
didn't even show that Pleasant Street's wrong.
Isn't that 12?
Yeah, he's got some 12, I see those they dotted there. But this is all 12, from here, all the way down into there, that's all 12.
Oh, right there, Manley Street, yeah. I would think so.
It is.
It's not 6. It can't be 6 going into United Drive off of Manley.
No. No, Manly's all 12. I haven't had time to look at it yet.
Well, we spent a lot of money on this thing, you put garbage in, you get garbage out.
But we gave the range, he said he had the GIS.
Right, if we didn't have
Our
anything.
GIS is right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's correct.
It's 100% right.
So they just didn't look at it?
I don't know what they did, they didn't
They
ask
might have done-
questions.
they might have
Anytime they
done
asked
something to
questions,
pull
I
it off
answered them.
You know, you would think before we got the final draft, they would have given us a rough draft to look at.
Right,
That's supposed to be 869, 870, yeah, they got United Drive as in the model as an 8-inch pipe. Right here, I can't even find this one. That's out of 47.
Somebody's gotta, you gotta sit down with these guys, you gotta put some hours into this, somebody's gotta. You got anybody that can, that knows enough, does Kenny know enough about this stuff to sit down with?
Actually, just let them know what's wrong, they got the GIS, I'll go.
right.
Let's
I'll
go.
let them know that there's some serious deficiencies in his report.
Everywhere.
Use-
Everywhere, it's all over.
I mean, especially the line leaving
Right.
Norman Ave going up to the Spring Street water tank.
Right, that's all 12, it's all 12s wrapped in there.
I can tell you, I could go through there and highlight up everything that Tom and I just picked up in
5 minutes.
a
Right.
couple minutes here, tons of it.
Alright, so put it up and I'll tell him he's gotta redo it.
Can you put that on the agenda for the next meeting, we'll follow up on this
That's,
hydraulic model corrections?
unless when they did something, they did it electronically and had a hiccup and was pulling some of the wrong stuff off.
Yeah, I don't know, we don't see that much.
If the GIS is right, and they're getting that much wrong, it kinda has to be something in the way they took the data off.
Yeah.
And the stuff on their links matches with
Wouldn't you think they'd double check a little bit?
The more automated this stuff gets, the less people
No, that's why.
look at stuff and check it.
No, that's not good.
I mean, that'll, if that's what they put it in as, it's gonna affect the whole model, isn't it?
Yes, it would.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. None of it
Which
did.
means that all the stuff that they change,
The flushing program, it goes backwards to everything.
And we paid them 90% too.
Yeah. Although the flushing program, you work in a different way, the times may change as the pipe size. It still works, it's just your times are off.
All right, well, that's something else we gotta work on, so if you don't have time to go over the map and figure out what it is,
Yeah.
maybe Kenny can do it. I mean, if I had an hour, I bet you I could go through and highlight all the pipes that are screwed up in there.
I mean, just let them know, Wayne, let them go, tell them double check.
Right.
Have somebody
First,
physically
I'm
look at
gonna let
GIS
him
and
know.
physically look
Yeah,
at
And
this.
I'll see what I can,
start out with telling them, look, we took a quick look at the report.
right.
And there's errors all over.
You're not giving us the actual verification part, which is how the tests in the field compared to the model.
Right,
They gave us the field test, they didn't give us what they actually got when they ran the model in the
yeah.
end. And they were finding all kinds of mistakes in the line. And what are they gonna do about it to fix it?
Should we have Patrick come into the next meeting?
You wanna? You
I
wanna?
mean, I'm willing to discuss it, it's that far off, to be honest with you. What we paid for it.
Yeah, me too. Tell Patrick take a look at it, show him some of the mistakes that we picked up on real
Let them
quick.
know.
And tell them that a lot of those mains are wrong.
Yep.
Tell him, you know, ask him what he's gonna do about it, and then
Right.
if he wants, or tell him, you know, if he can't fix it real quick, then you have a solution for us, and we need to talk to him.
Yeah.
And if, like, you go to any of those we were just talking about on the GIS, it's the right number.
Yeah, it is. That, as you were saying, when I was checking.
Yeah, so they somehow or other, when they pulled the data out, they screwed it up,
Right.
because it's not in
If
here.
they didn't have the data, they should have asked.
Right.
Any request they
I
made.
can't imagine they
answered.
were guessing at main sizes.
Well, no,
No,
you
so
gave
I don't
them the
know.
GIS stuff, they probably have a routine that they plug it in and it pulls out the information and puts it into the model.
Yeah.
It's not like it used to be where people would look at the map and do
No, it's
the
not.
stuff all by hand, they do it automatically.
Yeah, he's right. You incorporate the GIS, gets pulled into it.
Yeah, so if they had something coded wrong, they could have stuff like that wrong all over the place.
Well, we gotta fix it, because
Yeah.
I don't wanna spend all that money on get garbage out.
Oh, no, they owe us it
Yeah.
fixed.
They almost are pretty correct
Yeah,
hydraulic model.
yeah, for the money we spent, we need something a lot better than what we got.
That doesn't look good.
No, so that's one of the clap valves that we're gonna rebuild. It's also one of the ones we're gonna repaint. This is one of the two valves that, it's a run valve, so it runs all the time, so it blows the gasket on the top regularly. That's why you see so much rust. So, of course, this week coming, I have all the parts, I have the paint, I have everything.
Okay,
We
this
have
is
a-
the one that we just.
Right, we have a sunny week where,
Usage.
I don't know, I'll have to look to see if we can make it. But I'm gonna try to pull it this week and rebuild. I need to at least rebuild the one that's not shut. So we'll try doing one at a time, because you have to drain the filter completely down. That's the outlet valve.
Where is that, Wayne?
That's in the Manley Street plant.
Okay.
There's no
Oh, the
isolation
animal
valves.
one?
There's no isolation between it and the filter. That's it.
No isolation, meaning no valves to shut it down?
No,
Yes,
I can
yeah.
isolate that filter out, so if I had to, I could bring the plant up and just run off of two filters, but I don't really want to do that. We're having problems with the plant already, so there's no sense in stressing it. We also lost the air scour. So the air scour decided to go down. That's an integral part of the backwash. It's actually what breaks up the clumps. So it looks like the soft start, we traced it back to that soft starter right there. So it's on order, we're just waiting for it to come in. I don't know what that's gonna cost you either.
Where do you get that, Wayne?
I had the electrician, because that's 480 volts. We went as far as we could without,
Yeah, we don't want. guys
right,
No,
no,
Frying
that's,
themselves.
Who's the electrician?
Watermark, that's who I use for most of my variable frequencies, and he's pretty much on call. He responds when I have something I need. So hopefully we get part of that done this week, and he'll get that part in, and we can get that back up and running. So that takes care of Manley Street. Oh, for well 5, he's asked for information. Today I finished gathering the information he needs to look for a new well, but before we can hire him, we've overspent the engineering line, that's spent.
Yeah,
No more money can be spent out of that. I've already overspent other lines, I'm waiting for this month's thing so I can see where we are. So we can't hire anybody to do anything
Why not?
without allocating more money from somewhere.
why?
Because you can't overrun the bottom of the budget.
We're gonna have to. You don't have any choice.
You're not allowed to.
Hire them anyways. If they cut our budget short, they're gonna have to make up a decision. Are we gonna just run out of water? We're gonna let this department just.
But this goes to the above and
produce
beyond,
water?
so that's more like capital work that, it's not something that's part of the operation. Yeah, it's part of the operation because we need that well to produce more water, but it's something that's more capital work. I can't overspend the bottom of the budget. The bottom line is the bottom line. So if you spend me out before I reach next July, I have to shut down.
Okay,
Or I'm going on vacation for 2 months.
Or we need the numbers of what we need.
Yeah,
how much money you
Go to
need?
special town meeting.
tell them we need a special town meeting. We need to get that thing done.
All right, Right, so before we have to hire him, he'll give us some budget numbers before any money leaves our pocket, and then we'll have some budget numbers to go by, but we can't
All
technically
right,
hire
I
him.
wanna have by like next meeting. I don't want this thing dragged out months, okay?
Right.
We gotta get this thing done. And go down there and tell the town hall, we're gonna have to have a special town meeting. We don't have enough money. Find out how much money we're gonna need to get this thing done, and let's just do it. I don't wanna, this is foolishness. Let's stop talking about it. Let's just get it done.
Yep,
We're running out of water. You're pumping water like crazy. The wells are going dry. You're worried about a well going down. We need to replace the well down back. We know that that one is all plugged up. You're not getting any water out of it. You don't have any money. Let's do something about it.
Yeah.
Let's just get the money and let's do it. Either spend the money, hire the engineer, or let's go to town meeting and get the money. If the townspeople don't want to move the well, they don't want the water, then we'll shut the plant down. Okay, we'll shut the town off. If they don't want to vote for it,
all right. All I'm
that's the
saying
end.
is you have to
No,
allocate.
you just overspend the budget, you overspend the budget and you get the work done. I don't care, the town can't run out of water, okay? We can't just shut it off. You gotta fix it. Hire the engineer, run the line item over, we go to town meeting, we just tell them we need the
He's
money.
not talking about just running the line item over, he's talking about running the bottom line over because of the other stuff he's already
It's
over.
not,
But he isn't running the bottom line over, he can't be.
we're not gonna be at this point, but if we
But-
don't, you have to make.
Okay,
allocate more
but
money
you're not
in there.
running it over. Don't tell me that you're running the bottom line over because you got almost $2 million. You haven't spent, we're halfway through the year, you haven't spent $2 million. We go to town meeting and the townspeople have time to figure it out.
That's what I'm waiting on the thing, but the holiday got in the way, I can't help that.
You gotta get these projects going
And
or
I'm
you're
still
gonna run out of
moving
water. I'm telling you.
We're moving forward.
You just move forward. Stop talking about it. Just get it done.
When you're putting the numbers together, plan for whatever we have to spend for the leak detection, because if this doesn't pop out, we're gonna have to hire somebody.
Yep.
So if we're gonna go to a special town meeting, we wanna get all the stuff that we're gonna need in the basket
Right.
to get
Yep.
stuff back on.
Yep.
We got a lot of stuff that's going down, we got a lot of stuff that's breaking, we got a lot of stuff that needs to be fixed, we got wells that need to be replaced. We're either losing water or the town's using a lot more water than it ever did. You gotta run out of water.
Town's not using that much more water. We're using some more water, but nothing like that. We're
Okay.
picking it up in the bills.
Okay, then we gotta find the leak. We gotta have money to find the leak then. We gotta,
That's why I said, put it all in one big thing and do it.
yeah,
So we.
but we haven't got any numbers. We're still talking about it.
We have some numbers for the leaks, we need another price to hire, but at least we've got a ballpark on that.
Yep.
He's gonna give you numbers on the well,
Yes, see,
so
that's.
Wade's gotta wait for that
Close
number
the
to come in.
budget first. before
Yeah.
we can-
So as long as we.
He
get
doesn't
some-
have any idea how much it costs to move a well 50 feet. He must have done it 50 times.
I didn't ask him, the first thing he asked for was the specific yields and stuff, so I had to isolate that well and do that. So I've done that today, and I have that information. I haven't had time to get it to him, but I'll have it to him tomorrow.
Okay,
And I'll tell him to continue moving forward, that we need a budget number.
there you
As
go.
soon as possible.
As soon as possible.
All right, Station 1, he's gonna ask them for a date when they're gonna do a final inspection. We don't have one. However, I did walk into the station and heard noise. The check valves didn't seat at that station, or at least one of them didn't, and we were pouring back through the injection, the chem feed carrier water. So he came, I isolated everything out so it stopped. He came the next day and we turned him on and he saw it happening, but at the same time the checks did seat. The only problem here is the well's offline, so it's separated from the system. So there might not have been enough pressure to push the seat closed. But,
Does it carry along a check valve or the main line?
well, we carry water, we have 2-inch carry water that feed through 3 pumps. Those are those 3 pumps that they undersized the feed lines on.
Did they fix that?
Now, they haven't fixed that yet, and we already fried one of those pumps.
Really?
Yeah.
Because the line's too small?
I don't know whether it was that or a factory defect, so the pump's fairly new, so I'm
So
gonna
why
ask
are we
them for
running
warranty.
it? And we know that the
So I'm
lines
trying to
just
keep
run
it so
big pumps.
we tested for bacteria so that we got it qualified, ready to go. So now each month as we do our bacteria samples, I have to continue testing it.
Yeah.
We failed, but we passed the second time around, but it's flushed to waste anyway, so it doesn't affect the town in any way. I also have to keep up with my quarterly samples now because it's been offline, I got away with it, but now it has the ability to run, so I want to keep getting it back in the loop. So those are why we keep starting it up intermittently to keep it going. That ends my discussion.
Well, again, back to my question, the check valve you're talking about leaking,
Is that the wells?
so it's actually the well check valve. that's
Yeah,
going
but the
back.
well, so the,
But it's isolated, it's nothing to do with our leak, because it's
but it
not.
also leaked in front of the check valve that's in the building itself. I don't have that picture, but there's a check valve in the building too. And the one in front of it leaked back too, so they were both pouring back.
How did you know it was leaking back?
Because I could hear it, you could hear it screaming, plus I could see the line jumping.
But this is a brand new
Check valve?
brand new check valve, a brand new pump station, and we just paid
Yeah,
all that money to build, and there's a problem, we'll call them back. They
that's why I
guarantee it
brought
for
it
a
to
year.
your attention.
Yeah, they gotta fix it.
Yes,
Don't accept it until they fix it, make it right.
yeah.
What's it seeing downstream of the check valve? It just pumps the waste?
No, because the check prevents it from going back out to the wells. So the check is between the potassium hydroxide and the chlorine
Yeah.
in the wells.
So when it was leaking back, could you see the meter spinning backwards?
No, because it was between, the meter was on the other side.
Oh, okay.
But what's there on the downstream side of the check valve to push back and close it?
So the only thing is the street pressure is what's supposed to close it.
That should close it.
But we don't have, so we have street pressure, but it's not a heavy, even though it's isolated from the town, it's still weeping by a little, but it's not volumes of water.
But they're not seeing the same pressure back.
Should shut off.
So if it's running back, where's it running back to if it's not going?
It goes into the ground.
Oh.
Goes back into the well.
Yeah,
But the meter wasn't spinning backwards.
because the meter's on the wrong side of where it was coming from.
Oh, the meter was up.
It's upstream from it.
I don't have the updated, so,
It's still, it's running back from upstream though, isn't it?
no, I'll show you where it's running back from.
Bypassing the meter?
It's, no. Might be in the right spot.
It's coming from I think it's coming from the main.
Yes.
The meter's here, pumping out.
So it's not, I have the old,
You got the water, the main. So
Bypassing.
so it's getting registered here, but it's backflowing this way,
Where's the
but
check
before it
valve?
hits the meter,
Where's the check valve?
it would be in here. So it's going this way here, but
No, stay up there.
it's not affecting the
am I
meter.
off the camera?
It's going before the meter.
I don't understand why.
So the 100-foot tap, if you look here, the water that supplies the plant for the carry water, it comes out of the 100-foot tap, which is tapped off of this pipe. It's outside of the isolation zone. It's isolated right here so that this plant doesn't go out into the system. But the tap for the carry water is right here, outside of the isolation. So there's water to the building. And that's what we use.
That
for
water
carry.
is on
It
the-
also tells our instruments, it's how we get our pH.
Yeah.
And it's how we get our chlorine analysis.
And that water's got street pressure.
That water has street pressure.
But that's going back down the well, so you're losing a lot of water right there.
Right.
2-inch pipe.
Right, but we shut off, everything's valved off, I've got tags all over the place in there telling everybody that should you turn something on, you have to remove one of those tags to find it.
Everything we haven't done lately is not 100%.
But that's just part of getting the job done, they haven't finished it.
Right, they're not done yet.
Does Patrick know about it?
Yes, he was here, the day I found it, he was here the next day.
And what contractor is responsible for that part of the work?
So that part is Dankers.
Okay, Dankers should take care of it. Do you notify Dankers or the
Or
engineer
is it-
notify Dankers?
So the wells, the check valve seating is, that's Weston and Sampson.
Okay, they've been notified and they're gonna.
I notified the engineers, I've made sure I got it in an email, and I also They've done it verbally, so I haven't heard back from them yet, but I'll check again tomorrow.
Well, all that stuff should really be being sent direct to them through Patrick anyway.
Right.
And the construction services on it.
Yep.
That should be documented.
But I just wanna make sure Patrick notified them.
Yeah.
You know, just so that,
Is that punch
No.
list at this point, or?
are you at the
Yeah.
punch list point where you're?
They're
at
trying
the
to
very
punch
end?
list to get out so that they can get all their money out of it, but I don't want the punch list to happen until we're up and running so that I can run the
Right.
plant and actually
Need to
see
run
what's
it.
going
Yeah.
on.
We're not even to that point yet.
No, they need to get DEP in here to certify the station so I can put it to line.
But that's
Yeah.
the only thing holding us up from putting her online?
Yes. Is they have to give us
DEP
the.
approval?
Yep, they have to approve it. Now, the other thing is, all of our wells sit in the same bowl, so if I have to run 4 stations at once, so I already have, if I don't run 2 and 4 together now, if I take one off for a week, I get massive yellow water complaints. We suffered through that a couple of weeks back, because I had one down for repairs. If I push 1,500 gallons a minute through that pipes, I have no idea what's gonna come out.
Yeah, that always happened. That always happened. That's why I used to stagger them and only run, I wouldn't run them all at once.
Yeah, well, I try to keep them all together now, because if I don't, then I suffer through a barrage of yellow water complaints. So 2 and 4 have to stay together, or else we take a lot of flack. Rightfully so, it's water in the system, it's not anything that I can do anything about, but it happens. All right, can I be done talking?
No, you're doing well.
Glad they give up the mic.
Okay, everybody got anything else?
No, I mean, that's just basically, we're waiting for DEP.
Right.
And then, like I said, all these things, as long as they're being notified, we'll get it.
Yep.
Everything
And
good with Gary?
and make sure we know not to
He's not saying
pay
much.
bills.
Let's not,
No issues in the office?
let's not, make sure we don't finish up paying for that thing until everything is right. All those
Yeah.
little things, the check valves, that 3/4 inch lines gotta be upgraded, and, you know, all those little things. They're gonna make a big difference, and it's gonna cost you a lot of time, and a lot of money, and a lot of aggravation if it's not done right. You know, we gotta make sure before we finish paying them that everything's done perfect.
So now here's my question. So I know that they have to upsize the lines. The first thing is to start upsizing, get rid of the tubing in the plant and bring it up to the size of the pipe. When I tell them that they have to do that, is that gonna be a design change that we're gonna be paying for?
What
Or
is
it
it,
just
what is
easier?
it, what does it show on the plans?
I thought the plan showed bigger lines,
It does, it calls for 1 inch.
and they used 3/4.
Well, they're less than 3/4 with those poly lines.
What did Patrick say? Let Patrick make that determination. Does it meet the spec or not meet the spec?
All right, I'll push it back to them.
I mean, a lot of times, you'll have one small section of tubing
It's,
at the end, but not as
and
much
that's
as you
basically,
were
it's
showing.
all within the last foot that it happens, the last foot to 18 inches. there.
Every time we built all ours ourselves
Yeah,
over the years, and
Yeah,
we
it was
always
in
went
full
full
size.
size, all the way right into the main.
What did Patrick say about it? Did you talk to him about it?
yeah, he didn't comment on it. I did point it out to him.
He didn't agree that it was the wrong size?
He didn't not say it
Didn't
was
say
or
anything.
wasn't, he was non-committal.
Well, he needs to commit. They designed it.
Yeah, he needs to come in, right.
That's what we paid him for,
Yeah,
to make the big decisions.
right.
Maybe it was his mistake, maybe he
What
put
does
it,
he have?
maybe he left it out of the
They have
design.
detail
Yeah.
on their plans that shows how that connection's supposed to be.
And he should have picked up on that, if he knows that we've got that great big pump pumping all that water, he can't downsize it that far.
Because that's what answers whether it's a change or not, then it's just, do we argue that Tater and Howard owes it to us?
Right.
As opposed to we owe it to the contractor.
Yeah,
What was that? I missed that last.
Well, it depends, if they show a detail on their plan that shows what they built, then the detail might be wrong, then it's on Tater and Howard.
Who says it's the wrong size now?
because my carry water pumps, so I've got 3 pumps that push they're pushing 100 PSI. So On any of our other buildings, you'll see the suction, so when you turn on those pumps, your suctions will go from street pressure 71 pounds. They'll drop down to about 40 pounds on the suction side, and you'll go up to 100 pounds on the discharge side. Not in that station. They're 100 and 100. They're,
Is there specs on the
Pretty much
pump, what
the
size
same.
the line should be?
and that's when I'd have to go through their myriad of paperwork to find out, and that was what I'm just writing down.
I mean, they're 100, they start pulling and they're not.
Well, they're not, it's not,
They're not-
but at 70, there's no drop. I don't see a vacuum on the suction side.
Did we decide?
Oh, so
Patrick?
it's not how they carry it, it's not sucking any water out of
Right,
it.
you can't move the water because they're sitting there spinning, they can't push it out, you push them through a 3/8 inch tube.
Yeah.
Did we decide Patrick's coming to a meeting? I mean, we almost got a laundry list for him here.
Maybe after the first of the year, after our 7th meeting, next meeting, we'll put the list together, let them know what the list is.
Yeah, what do we only have one more now.
Yeah, so it'll be the other one this month, and then we don't want to have them here at the meeting. We're gonna go over all the other stuff with the numbers, but we get them at the meeting after that.
So.
And maybe by then we'll have the DEP answer
Right.
on the well.
Is that all right with everybody?
Yeah, I'd make a list though for Patrick, whatever we've got at this point.
Yeah.
Then we got.
We can probably pull a lot of it right off the minutes.
Yeah.
It's all gonna be in there.
Well, let's make a list. Maybe give it to him ahead of time so he can,
Oh, you have to, with enough time for him to figure out
so
what's.
make a
going on.
list, give it to Patrick ahead of time, let him get up to speed before he gets here. So maybe I'll have answers instead of, it might expedite a little bit.
Yeah, we don't need him to come here to ask him the
Yeah,
questions.
well, yeah, and then have him go figure it out, you've got, to waste a month.
Another month.
Yep.
Maybe email him, Wayne, with everything we talked about today,
Yeah.
all right? Get him thinking about it. All those issues, so we can get answers instead of,
Yeah.
All right. Anybody got anything else?
Did we get through?
Yeah, we did.
I did. Was that Karen? Something you want to say?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye. We're adjourned at